Hello everyone, EliteCameraman here. Today was a crazy day because the YouTuber known as sorry, I meant Steak, just went live a couple hours ago and he actually had a chance to get an exclusive interview with Mr. Boom himself. As you guys know, I had a similar exclusive interview with Boom as well, and just like that time, we got some crazy info about the series as well, but that's not all because after the interview with Steak, Boom DM'd me and told me I can ask him some extra questions for the video, and after going through Steak's questions, I'll also be showing my own second exclusive interview with Mr. Boom, which you probably don't want to miss because I asked 15 questions. Even though overall there was not much lore info on Steak's stream because Boom kept on trolling Steak, and we only got one bit of information about episode 74, Steak asked something that made all this not matter. And Boom's answer to this question wasn't a troll answer that one time, which revealed something insane that everyone has been hyped about for a long time. Alongside this, it seems like a beef between Boom and Dom Studios might be starting. So if you're curious about it, make sure to watch the video until the end. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you also want me to do a longer exclusive interview with Mr. Boom one day. Anyways, here we go. Yesterday, Steak started streaming and said that he'd interview Mr. Boom if his community post got 69,420 likes, and in a single day it actually passed that benchmark, which led to today's Q&A with DaFaq. There were some people who didn't believe it would happen, and Steak was trolling them, but it was actually real, and he started a stream called Talking to DaFaqBoom. He started the Q&A simple, and his first message was the wave emoji on Discord, which Boom responded instantly with a crazy spoiler. Which was, as you guessed, not an actual leak, but an egg with some hair and headphones which looks like Steak, which totally got Steak mad as usual. But after this, he slowly started asking some crazy questions is what I wish I could say, but bro literally told Boom, "How are you doing, my little Sigma?" and moaned after it. Steak was cooking, but I don't know what he was cooking. And Boom actually answered this with a gif of Cameraman doing a thumbs up. I guess Boom is now Steak's little Sigma, and this tension between them for real continued until the end, and I guess the last question revealed why that was. Also, as I mentioned, Boom sent a gif to answer the question, and this is a pattern that continued through Steak's Q&A. But don't worry because I at least got some answers that were not gifs, which I'll share with you later in the video. Steak's next question was, is it stressful running Skibidi Toilet? Which Boom answered with a gif of the first episode of the series where the Skibidi goes, "Skibidi dom dom, yes yes," which probably means yes, and the way that the toilet's head moves probably means it's mad crazy. All these answers are my interpretation, so Boom might have tried to say something completely different. After this, Steak asked, "Who is the most handsome of them all?" And Boom replied with a gif of Rizzy G-Man, and to be honest, I can agree. I'd smash. Anyways, Steak's next question was, how did you come up with Skibidi? Did you always know what the story was going to be, or did you start out not having any idea what it would become? And Boom answered with a simple, yes. I have no idea if he said yes to knowing he knew what he'd do or not knowing it. But I would lean towards him knowing what he wanted to make because the lore started at episode 7 and has been going on ever since. Steak asked a crazy question after this, which was, will Skibidi ever end? If so, do you already know what will happen in the final episode? Boom answered this with a gif of Cameraman and Titan TV Man with a caption that says, "Nuh-uh." I feel like this could mean two things. Steak took it as Skibidi Toilet will never end, but it could also mean this is not a question Boom is able to answer, so he said nuh-uh, as in he ain't giving the answer to that question. I keep seeing people say we are nearing the end of the series, but there is no way that's the case. Especially with the Astro toilets being introduced slowly but surely, and that arc hasn't even really started. And talking about the future of the series, Steak asked, can you tell us about episode 100? And Boom said, new character will appear. Take a look, and posted a picture of the egg once again, but I'ma be honest, if I know Boom, he'll actually find a way to put that egg in episode 100 just to mess with Steak. And I really believe that this is a real leak from episode 100. And seeing this, Steak asked, speaking of eggs, will the egg toilet ever return? Which Boom replied with a large toilet skibidi-ing gif, which means skibidi dop dop yes yes, which mean it's a yes for sure. Egg toilet in episode 100 confirmed, maybe he is the real Astro boss. The next question Steak asked was, does the alliance versus toilets represent anything in the real world? which Boom replied with G-Man doing the Rizzy pose, which could mean yes, but doesn't tell us what they represent. But the next question was crazy. My favorite question out of all the questions. Steak tried to start a war and asked, "Who's better, EliteCameraman or DaFaqBoom?" Which Boom replied with a gif of me doing the sinister pose. No shade to DaFaqBoom since her analysis videos are great too, but since Boom said I'm better, which he probably meant I'm better at simping. You should like this video and subscribe. The next question Steak asked actually created some heat because he asked, "How do you feel about channels that create skibidi universes?" Which Boom said depends on the channel, which Steak continued with, "What about Dom Studio, my personal favorite?" But Boom said something that stirred up some drama inside the community. He replied with goofy ah. After this, I feel like a beef was bound to start unless no one from the Dom Studio team spoke about it, which they did. After the Q&A ended, I was checking my DM requests to see if people said anything about the stream, and I saw someone that sent me screenshots from Dom Studio's server, and when I went there and checked Orion, the server manager's messages, I saw a thread of messages that started with someone sending Steak's question and Boom's answer on general chat, which someone replied with, "I want to see Orion's reaction to this," which was a gif that said, "We don't care." And someone replied to it with a screenshot of the reactions under the "We don't care" gif, which showed Boom reacting with a clown emoji alongside of 3 people. But in a screenshot I took later, these clown reactions were gone, which means people either retracted them or someone from the staff team deleted those reactions, but because of this Orion quoted that message one more time to say, "Seems like DaFaq is spending more time in Dom Studios' Discord rather than working on episodes," throwing shade at Boom, who put the clown reaction. If you guys didn't know, Boom also posted a leak literally on Dom Studios' server a week ago or so. Was this also to throw shade to Dom Studio, or was it just a coincidence? At this point, this beef is starting to feel like the Drake versus Kendrick drama that happened 2 to 3 weeks ago, and someone literally made a meme about putting Dom Studios and Boom's logos next to a Drake versus Kendrick image. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna give my own opinions in this topic, but I'll gladly cover it if this drama continues because, as you guys know, drama always gets views, and I'll gladly get those views. As you guys also know that drama and beef is usually fun to watch and participate in, but if it goes too far, you never have to go too far. Try and don't go over the board against people. Anyways, before we get to my own questions to Boom, we got a couple more questions from Steak left. After this, Steak asked Boom who his favorite Titan is, and Boom replied with a gif of all 3 Titans at the same time. But Steak asked most sus question ever right after this, where he sent a selfie of himself saying, "Are you single?" Which Boom replied with the holy grail of the troll leaks where G-Man and Scientist kiss. But he put an L on the selfie shortly after, which means he messaged that to make Steak feel good and crush him afterwards. The next question was, "Who is your favorite villain?" Which Boom replied with a gif of G-Man toilet, and I'm gonna be honest, if blood truly meant that. G-Man ain't dying no time soon, he might even be the winner at the end of the series, we are screwed. The next question was a good question from Steak, but I think everyone knew it wasn't gonna get answered anyways. He asked, "Will one of the Titans ever die?" Which Boom replied with, "This bozo will die," showing the egg once again. Which 100 confirms that the egg Titan is real, and he'll one day die. This next question Steak asked was the one that gave the most info from the interview and probably the best question he had. He said, "Will we ever see a new Titan?" And Boom actually replied with a gif of Titan Cameraman doing a thumbs up. People alongside me started to instantly think that for there to be a new Titan, there has to be a new race. And before I talk about this, I actually asked more about this to Boom, and his answer actually gave more clues as to who or what it could be, but I'll get to that later in the video when I'm showcasing my own questions. The next question Steak asked was, "Will Plunger ever make a return?" People thought this question was bad, but I think it's actually really good because this question was asked before, but that was before the flashbacks in episode 73, and I thought maybe Boom meant the flashback, but Boom's reply was a gif of Plunger Cameraman doing a head nod, which means it's a yes, and we'll be able to see him. I think there are 2 ways of this happening. It's either flashbacks, or maybe the people we saw in the flashbacks maybe weren't really Plunger Cameraman and Camerawoman, but just their personalities or the people they got their memories from. It is possible that if some cameraman's memories are made from the human's memories, maybe they could recreate the body and just upload the memories to recreate the character. The next question Steak asked was, will Male 07 make a return? Which Boom sent a gif of one of his old videos where Male 07 says, May who needs it anyway, saying either the Male 07 series will never return or Male 07 won't be a main character in the Skibidi series in the future. I feel like he should have asked about Male 09 since people want to know about that too. But we already saw Male 09 in the poster with the secret agent. And unless he is a person like the secret agent, he is most likely dead already. The next question was about Titan Cameraman and Speakerman fighting G-Man Toilet, but Boom answered with another troll leak where the Titans tried to kiss and explode, and I do think that this was intentional because I asked this to Boom in my own questions to get more info, and the info he gave me kinda worries me, which I'll talk about later in the video. Steak's next question was about the container crates, but I have no idea what Boom meant with his answer, so I'm skipping it. After this, Steak asked something we all have been wondering and said, do you have a release date for episode 74? Which Boom replied with, it will release in May, which means it has to release in the next 2 weeks, which is good to hear. Hopefully we see some leaks soon. After this, Steak asked for a leak, but Boom kept on trolling Steak and sent an egg once again. But the next question was even crazier because Steak asked Boom to make a face reveal, and Boom actually sent a photo, but it's insane because when Steak opened the picture, it was a picture of Steak's dad. How the hell did Boom get a picture of Steak's dad? Maybe he really is Steak's dad, just like how I'm Creekcraft. Steak's stream ended right after this, but while I was writing this video, Boom told me I could ask some more questions, and I prepared 15 questions to ask to Boom. Of course, some had troll answers, but most of them actually reveal some crazy stuff, so make sure to stay until the end. My first question to Boom was probably something we all want to know. I asked, you told yes to Steak's question where he said, will we ever see a new Titan? Does this mean a new race is on the horizon because as far as we know, each race only has one Titan, or is that knowledge false as well? And he answered with, it's someone we have already seen. This, at least for now, removes all the guesses we had about a new race since we haven't seen a new race yet as far as we know. And I think it brings down the possibilities to 3 things. I don't think Boom is talking about someone from the Alliance here. I believe that unless one of the Titans die in the next episode, we won't see a new Titan from one of the 3 hardware races. The next possibility is probably the most likely option, and it's G-Man Toilet. It's possible that the containers have parts in them that if they all come together make G-Man Toilet a Titan-like toilet. The next option is that there is a chance of one of the Astro Toilets having a Titan body because it seems like their tech is a lot more advanced. The last option is the secret agent. Maybe he is building his own Titan which he'll control from the inside to join the fight at some point when he needs to intervene. The next question I asked was, we just met the first humans other than the secret agent. Are humans gonna play a big role moving forward in the series? Which Boom replied with, they will play some role. I feel like this question means the humans won't have much of an essential role, but more so a side character role. This comment most likely doesn't include the one and only secret agent. The next question I asked was, people really want to know about what's going to happen with Titan Speakerman and Titan Cameraman. Steak did ask you this same question as well, but I don't think your answer was understandable. Are they still planning on fighting or are they retreating back to the bases to get their upgrades? Which he answered with, they might do both. This probably means that the Titans will try to join the fight, but I feel like they are going to get damaged to the point that they are in the brink of dying and retreat afterwards, or maybe even die there. Because there is so many questions, I'm going past them a little fast, but we'll talk more about theories about these in a later video when we know more about Boom's answers. So make sure to like and subscribe to not miss any of it. The next question I asked was something I've wanted to know for a while, and I'm really surprised that Boom answered it. I asked, we have seen the Cameraman and TV Man headquarters. Are we ever going to see the Speakerman headquarters? Which he answered with, yes, I even know the number of the episode. If he knows which episode it will be in, I think we can assume that it'll most likely be somewhere in the next 10 episodes. Are we going to see it because Titan Speakerman is injured and he is getting treatment? Or something else? I'm really hyped to see their base because it's the only base that we haven't seen yet. The next question I asked was the most important question for me, which was, Are you ever going to put me in the series and make me fight with Simp Cameraman for TV Woman? Please do. And Blood just send a skull emoji. Boom, if you are watching this, I'll be waiting, bruh. I need to do a duel with my boy Simp Cameraman. If you want to see it happen like this video. This next question will blow your mind because Boom literally told me which episode the Simp Cameraman will be coming back. And it's a lot sooner than you think. I asked, also this reminds me, when you did a Q&A with one of the Russian analysis YouTubers, you mentioned to him that Simp Cameraman would come back. You said possibly, could you give us any info about my ultimate rival's comeback so that I can beat the shit out of him for trying to hug my beloved TV woman? He replied with, at first he will return in 74... I don't know why he put 3 dots or said it first, but it seems like there is some mystery behind his return, and the fact that he said at first might mean that we might not see him for a while after his return. But it's insane that we'll be seeing him literally in the next episode. Hopefully he was struck by lightning or something after trying to hug TV Woman anyways. The next question I had was, in the full version of episode 73, you introduced the new special agent from the TV race. Did you have a name in mind for him? Because I've seen people call him man different names. And he replied with the most sus answer yet and called him TV Daddy. I'm not even going to comment on this answer. After this, I asked, are we going to see new special agents that'll be fighting on the front lines just like Plunger Cameraman and Dark Speaker Man? It looks like from now on, we'll actually start seeing some new and unique characters. After this, I asked, you've been hyping up episode 74 quite a lot for the last 2 months. Is there any leaks you can show or mention why we should be hyped about it as well? Because right now it seems like the fight with G-Man and Camera Woman's encounter with the humans are happening at the same time, and we have no idea which one we'll be seeing in episode 74. Which he replied with, 74 happens almost right after 73, this episode will be pivotal in the series. Him saying this is crazy. For him to say it'll be pivotal means we'll most likely get a big twist, good action, and some lore at the same time. He really has been hyping it up, but we still have no clues on what we'll see. The next question was the Astro Juggernaut the strongest Astro toilet? Or are we still going to be seeing even crazier Astro toilets in the future? And bro once again just sent a skull emoji. I think this means we haven't even seen anyone strong yet. And it scares me how much more powerful are the Astro toilets, brah. After this, I wanted to ask a question I kept on seeing on Discord, which was, I've seen some people wonder about the hierarchy of the Astro toilets and who are the higher-ups, because all the Astro toilets we've seen so far seem to be powerful, and we don't even know who the leader is, or if they even have foot soldiers like the normal toilets. And he responded with a simple, you'll see. I hope we see it soon, but the fact that he said you'll see means that there 100% is a leader and his goons. The next question I had was, does the Skibidi virus spread through humans being exposed to the Skibidi Dom? Yes. Sounds for a long time, because in the full version of episode 74, we saw a human without headphones and Blood went crazy just like a Skibidi for a few frames. And Boom literally told me, you just answered yourself. Which means the guy in the last episode is actually a Skibidi imposter, and we might even see him turning into a toilet in the next episode. And this was the first confirmation from Boom about how humans turn into toilets. Hopefully we get to witness it happening. The next question I asked was, is there anything you can say about the portal experiment that they were doing in the flashbacks? And he said, there was a lab, and there was an experiment in the lab. Blood really not giving any hints, bro. I guess him saying this means that we'll get to see the real secret behind it later in the series and perhaps very far into the series. I had 2 questions left, and the first one was, this has been on my mind until episode 70 part 3. What was the book with the TV Man logo that Lucky Cameraman found in the room in episode 70 part 3? It felt important, but we haven't seen anything about it. Was it just the instructions to make a TV monitor which scientist was using, and if so, how did the toilets steal it? Which he replied with, TV Man technology. I guess I thought right, but he didn't say anything about how the toilets were able to acquire it. And when it comes to the last question, it's something that I started asking after episode 73 part 2 was released, and I asked, the green energy G-Man toilet used in episode 73, was that energy tech given to toilets by the secret agent? Which he answered with just an emoji. And I think this emoji gives some credibility to my theory, but why and how did it happen is the real question. We really need to learn the true intentions of the secret agent because we don't know anything about him. This video really was crazy with all the questions and answers, and if you want this to happen again in the future, make sure to like and subscribe to not miss it.